at night.
Oh.
I'm moving in the right direction. Problem is, I can't take naps, really, because with my CPAP machine, it takes me so long to fall asleep. Like, it can take me up to an hour. So, at that point, there's no real reason to take a nap. I'll just wait and go to sleep.
So you have like no respite at all from it.
Yeah. At least Meg can take some naps. At that point,
there's
no real. Alright, let's see if we're up on Twitch and YouTube. Let's see if the tweet went out. Yeah, it did. Let's retweet that business. Is it going up on Beam? Okay, it's up on Beam. And Hitbox is going to do whatever it does. Alright. We'll give it a minute here to let people hop in, and then we'll get started. We shouldn't have a super long episode anyway. My family's in town right now for Thanksgiving, so.
Oh, how'd that go?
It was good.
So your mama said hi.
I will. It was my mom.
Does she even remember me?
Oh, yeah. She asks every time she sees me, she'll ask me how the podcast's doing. And I'll say, like, oh, we just released episode, this time was episode 474. And I think everyone is impressed at, one, that number, and two, that we're still doing this dumb thing.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I was trying to say, it's like, I think we're, like, one of the longest-running podcasts on, like, video game podcasts.
Yeah.
And they're like, what?
Yeah.
Really?
Well, I think especially we're one of the longest, like, consecutive running. We haven't had a week off. We've never had a week off for anything. We've had, like, one or two episodes that have been a little bit late, but we've never not released an episode.
Oh, man, I don't know. I think we've always hit the Monday deadline, haven't we?
I think so. Or it was Friday when we were recording on Thursdays. I think we've always released on release date. I think there was one. I think when I was working at Walsh, I think I had something blow up and we recorded like a short episode on Monday. But I think that was. Those are few and far between.
Yeah, those were the absolute latest. Yeah, I remember those.
Yeah, that was me at work at like 6 p.m. and I'm like, things went wrong.
Yeah, things went all pear-shaped.
Yeah. IT. How I don't miss it.
Speaking of that, any bites on the job front, or?
No, I'm not searching. Just stay-at-home dad mode. We actually, I'll have to tell you offline, we have a windfall coming our way that means I won't have to find a job for a while. So,
nice.
Yeah. I'm pretty excited because I don't like working. So, if I can not do that and take care of Kat, that would be great. It's just the older I get and the deeper I get in IT, the more stressful it is and the more responsibility. It gets tough because you get more responsibility, which is great, and you get more skills, which is great, but because most institutions don't want to invest in IT, I've gotten to the point where I'm the only dude. So, like, when something goes wrong at 2 in the morning, it's just me sitting in this office working. There's no one else I can have help or talk to or bounce ideas off of or anything. And that's the stuff that gets really tough and really stressful. Because usually you have a deadline where it's like, okay, it's 2 o'clock, people start showing up at 7, everything is on fire, and I don't know why it's broken or how to fix it. So, I guess let's do this. So maybe we'll just get like an online data entry job or something. Make some fun money.
Fun money. That'd be good. It would kind of keep you occupied a little bit.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, I imagine that like now, like once the baby becomes more self-sufficient, I imagine you're going to go a little stir crazy.
Yeah,
I don't want you to go mom dumb.
It's true.
You don't
I
need
was
mom brain.
starting to get there because I left my job 8 months ago, and I was before she came. I was starting to get a little bit of cabin fever, and obviously it's not an issue right now. But in a couple of months, I'll probably be getting back to that point. And yeah, there's only so much online training and stuff I can do, so I need to do something to keep myself occupied. Bring in a couple ducats here and there.
Oh, it's not even about the ducats. It's just keeping your mind active, really.
Yeah,
Good thing we have this glorious hobby to keep us busy.
I know. Maybe I'll get into Minecraft.
Oh, no.
Man, if I want to keep my mind occupied, I'd just start Dwarf Fortress again. Good God.
Oh, dude.
Okay.
Yeah.
I need to shave. God.
Yeah, it's getting a little.
Yeah,
Maybe put some like I just trimmed down the sides, just put a little more shape on it.
Yeah, I'm just really... I just don't have the time. So now that we're trying to get the baby to gain weight, which she finally is, we have to feed her every 2 hours, and she, like, eats for 45 minutes, and then I have to change her diaper and, like, get everything all cleaned up, and, like, go eat myself, and then I sit down.
It's time to feed again.
Yeah, it's like, shit, it's 15 minutes, now I need to make more formula. Thankfully, we don't have to feed her every 3 hours at night anymore. Now it's 4. Yeah.
It's the stuff they don't tell you about.
God, there's so much.
Oh,
man.
Oh, man. Trying to think of what else is going on.
Not a lot.
No, not really.
Quiet. It's raining.
Dude, I saw a 2 terabyte SSD for $180.
I know. I feel like I turned around and everyone's like, "Oh, a terabyte. That's only $80." Yawn. It's like, wait, what?
Yeah,
when did I miss
like
that?
that was like $400 like 2 months ago.
Yeah, now the new hotness, it finally on the consumer end is those M2 chips. I think it's M2.
Does it fit the little vertical slots?
Yeah, they look like RAM sticks.
Yeah.
And it's like this big for a terabyte. And you just clip that right in your motherboard. That's crazy. That's been around for servers for a really long time, but I didn't think it'd get popular enough to go to consumer level.
I don't. Well, I mean, there's only so many slots, so many bays, but even that, like, you could retcon, like, on most machines, you almost don't even need an optical drive anymore.
No, most people don't buy them anymore.
Like, I still have a floppy drive hooked in mine just because.
I think I do too, because I didn't feel like moving it.
Well, no, it's like I just keep hopping the same floppy drive, going on.
Still working.
But yeah, like even that stuff, like the hard drives, like I'm thinking about grabbing one of those 2 terabytes and just copying all the information off of the mountain of hard drives I have laying around here.
Yeah, just collate it all.
Just get it all on one thing. This is drive, blah, 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 blah.
You know, I did that actually by buying one of those Western Digital external drives. I bought like one of the 4 terabyte ones, and I said, alright, I have 4 hard drives in this machine. I know there's duplicate data. I know there's just a bunch of shit I don't care about anymore. I'm going to sit down for a day and just start going through all this stuff and copying over what I needed. I ended up with like 1.5 terabytes.
Yeah, but I mean, that way it's on that thing, and you're like, okay.
Yep.
New don't machine, have to
plug it in. I'm good.
Yeah. Don't have to worry about moving, or what did I forget to install, or what did I forget to move over.
Right. Yeah, like 2 years later, you're like, shit, didn't I have an installer for that? Like, didn't I have a copy of Sim Golf somewhere?
Well, that was the thing. Like, I had that one external, that Seagate one, the Tron-looking one that I had.
Yeah.
That's at work, and it's not even plugged in.
Yeah.
Because I was like, I had like my list, like this is my must-install hard drive, which all that shit's obsolete now.
Yeah. Well, especially with Ninite now. I don't know if you've ever used that site.
No.
Oh, if you open up a browser, I'll show it to you. It's really cool.
What's it called?
It's NINITE Ninite.com.
Ninite.
This would be a quick IT pro tip for everyone at home.
Okay.
So this site, basically what you do is under
That's
this...
brilliant.
All you need to do is check all these checkboxes. It'll download an installer, and it installs all that stuff. It skips all the toolbars. It skips all the extra stuff that gets installed that you don't want. The great part, though, is not only does it download the most recent version, but if you save that installer and run it again, it'll update all that stuff that is installed. So like you run it once a month, and it just keeps 40, 50 apps all up to date and installed.
That is brilliant. What was that one? I was talking about one friend that's in IT. What was it? LastPass. He fully recommends LastPass.
Yeah. What do I use? I use LastPass.
There's KeyPass 2 in here.
Yeah. KeyPass.
SugarSync. When was the last time anyone used SugarSync?
I use LastPass or KeyPass at work. I like LastPass a lot. I like GreenShot a lot for really easy screenshots.
I use QuickCap.
Yeah.
I use that at work because I use Google Earth a lot. Because I use Google Earth and I'm able to manipulate the image, and then it just gives me my box and you capture the whatchamacallit, the ingrained scale on Google Earth because it's actually segmented in 4.
Nice.
So you can and you dropped it into Review Bluebeam, and you scale like I put in because I have a 40-inch 4K monitor, so my capture rate is different than most people's. So most of the time that's 4 inches, but mine is like 6.4. It seems to be the best method. I was like 6.4 equals however long that bar is, and then I'll calibrate to that. And then I'll check a quarter of it. Like I'll take the size of it divided by 4 to give me my check, and then I'll measure a couple parking stalls because I know those are in between 18, 19 feet long and 9 to 10 feet wide.
Right.
And those are I check the scale, and then I check the actual image itself, and then I'm able to actually digitize a captured image.
Right. That's cool.
Which saves me so much time in the field.
You don't have to drive all around town all day.
Well, it's not just drive. Like you still have to visit the site because you need your site pictures just to make sure you're not making stuff up. Which I've been caught a few times doing that, but
allegedly.
Well, hey, that took 5 tons of patching instead of 2.
Yeah.
Oops.
That happens.
But yeah, I mean, overlay images. You put your own water. Like I use a water produced by blah 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 stamp on it.
Right.
Some guys take way too much time. They put the company's logo on it and this the date and all. Especially, I wish I had your time.
Yeah. I'm over here doing business. I'm a business.
That's why you put out 90 quotes and I put out 400.
Right. Oh man. All right, you ready to get this thing started?
Yeah.
All right, let's get started in 3, 2, 1. Welcome back to another episode of That Video Game Podcast. I'm your host, Boston. Joining me, as always, Mr. Knobs.
Hey.
Moon is not here with us this week. Moon is actually with Knobs.
Yeah, he's actually downstairs.
He's in Knobs' basement. Not being punished or anything. He's just down there with a giant projector and screen enjoying himself. But we don't really have the right setup to get him on the show in person, which is one person per location sort of show at the moment. So he'll be back next week. He's going to take a little break. Little breather. Yeah. Let's dive right into it. Knobs, what have you been playing this past week?
All right. Well, we had another successful Monday night game night. I think we had some new faces on. I really should write down the names. I can't remember.
You're valued members of the community, though.
It was a week ago.
Yeah.
But again, the more the merrier, and embrace the ridiculousness of our chat that we have.
Just chaos.
It's a good time. It really is. So that was Battlefield 1. Always having a blast in that game.
Glad to see that it has grabbed you guys? Because I think we were all a little bit concerned about, like, boy, we love Battlefield 4, and for the reason we talked about before, we've skipped over Hardline. Hopefully 1, and, Star Wars Battlefront can sort of go do its own thing.
Star Wars Battlefront, suck it.
Yeah. I'm glad to see that Battlefield 1 has... It wasn't a Battlefield 4 wasn't a flash in the pan. It wasn't just like, well, here's the one Battlefield game I've loved, and none of the other ones have ever grabbed me again.
Well, no, it does enough stuff differently. Like, I think I finally found the gun I want to use all the time playing single player.
Oh, okay.
And so now I'm trying to figure out how I can level up my medic so I can get that gun. Because the guns are a little more class specific in this version of Battlefield. The random drops for battle packs is kind of frustrating, but again, it's pretty much just skins. It really doesn't matter.
Right.
So you're really concentrating on leveling up to earn your war bonds so you can buy more guns. So it's not quite the progression that was in Battlefield 4 all the time.
Right.
So that seems to be a little different. I don't know if necessarily better. Time will tell on that. So we'll work that out.
We'll see after you spend another couple hundred hours in there.
Yeah, we'll see. I don't know if it could quite match the amount of time we spent in that. Oh man, I almost forgot that game. I did a little pregame Battleborn.
Oh yeah.
With Tom Gamer and myself. I kind of finally roped another person to play some Battleborn.
Yeah.
I think we play the same level we play every time we play that. With Jeff, the Spider King.
Yeah, well, why not? You gotta go say hi to Jeff.
Oh, man. I really like that game, and I really love the shooting in it. I wish more people would play. I really do.
Yeah, I just think
that's a good game at the wrong time.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like none of the marketing ever really landed, and I think it needed to get way further away from Overwatch. Like, I know that was a minor concern of ours, and we originally said, it's different enough, people won't really care, but a Blizzard game hit that seemed similar to Battleborn, and Battleborn just got kicked off of a cliff.
Right. It wasn't similar. It was like maybe similar in tone and art style, but
first
gameplay.
Glance.
Yeah. These games look really similar, but no, they're really not at all. Yeah,
I feel like the nuance got lost in whatever the marketing was for Battleborn, which I think I remember was pretty thin. There wasn't a ton where Blizzard, of course, was throwing around Blizzard money and just saying like, "Hey, do you want to play Overwatch?" And all your friends do forever.
Well, you really can't mess with the Juggernaut. Yeah. I mean, that's the problem. I mean, that's the problem sometimes in games. Like sometimes a game will just land at the wrong time and completely get passed.
And I mean, I still have to respect Blizzard.
Played a lot of games this week. Hold on, they're coming out of the woodwork in my mind meats.
I still have to respect Blizzard, though, because at the very least, I'm going to throw a little shade here. At the very least, they're still making games, unlike someone like Valve, where they come out with a game like Overwatch that maybe isn't the most revolutionary game. It's kind of a MOBA, it's kind of a first-person shooter. It smushes some stuff together, but the level of quality and polish that a Blizzard game has, you look at it and you go, like, I'm not somebody that enjoys Overwatch, but you look at it and go, like, that's a really well-made game. I get why people are playing it like crazy.
Well, I mean, that's the one thing Blizzard has always done. It's workman-like games. Like, it's going to be of a quality that you expect.
Yep.
So they're always, at a fundamental level, they are fully functional and very good.
Yeah.
Let me see. So that I played some more. Whatchamacallit? I played episode 4 in the Batman Telltale series.
Oh yeah.
Wow, dude! Wow, this game is really good.
That's so good to hear.
It is such a step away from the Batman ethos that I had. It was a story I didn't know I wanted.
Well, and especially, if anyone has been watching the pre-shows of this show for seemingly this entire calendar year, Knobs and I are both sick of Batman's origin story for the last 5 years. And for someone to take the character of Batman and take the character of Bruce Wayne and tell a fresh story is so welcome.
It's so heavily hinged on that origin story, which something like I keep saying, it's a story I didn't want it. Like I like there's a video on YouTube showing how many times the Waynes, Frank and Martha Wayne have been shot in Crime Alley.
Right.
It's like 10 minutes long. And it's like and like not even like 4-second snippets.
Right.
It's 10 minutes of watching this family just get murdered.
Yeah.
But the thing that this game does so well is it gives a motive and a reason why that happened that no one ever had before.
Oh, neat.
Or at least nothing that I have ever cared enough to know about the Batman world, or his collection of work here. I didn't know that it was important, but it is an important and very compelling story, and the way they're tying in all the other characters, because you have Oswald Cobblepot and as the Penguin, Harvey Dent's Two-Face and his metamorphosis into the villain, Vicky Vale. They have a new, I'm guessing, a new group of villains called the Children of Arkham. And just watching this unfold with the Gotham Police Department and Commissioner Gordon, Alfred knowing a lot more what's going on than everyone ever gave him credit for. Kind of gets called out for it, which is great. And Batman being a very conflicted protagonist.
That's really good.
Which is something that rarely happens in anything that I've ever read of Batman.
Yeah, I feel like, to me, that's the part that sounds the most compelling. It's not Batman that knows he's doing the right thing. He's putting on the cape and the cowl, and he's taking down some bad guys, and then he goes home and he kicks up his feet, and he's good until tomorrow. I want to see that hero. Like, I want to see the Batman that I read in comic books during the 90s, which was like the side stories, like the one where he got addicted to drugs because he let that girl die. There's that famous one. Like, that's the Batman to me. And to see this game representing that's really exciting.
Well, and that's I believe why this game has been resonating with me so well. Like, I cannot wait to finish this story.
Yeah.
Because it seems like the choices that you're making in the mainline game have pretty serious ramifications at almost every turn. And I've never seen this in Telltale. There is an almost 50-50 split through every decision.
That's crazy.
It seems like everything's very conflicted.
Usually it's like 97% saved Loaderbot, 3% let him blow up. It's like, it's very clear, like, no, I want to keep Loaderbot.
No, but I mean, you have a choice where either you go and save your tech at Wayne Tower or you go intercept Two-Face at Wayne Manor.
Right.
And you're like, how am I going to finish the game if I don't have my toys? If those things are messed with, I'm in trouble.
Right.
Yeah, maybe this guy will be fine over here, and it's just a house.
But you can kind of see it both ways.
And then I was like, it made perfect logical sense to go and do one of those things. And then I look at it, I'm like, I am shocked that many people went that way.
Yeah.
Shocked.
Yeah. That's good,
though. And
then
almost an equal amount of people went my way. And I'm like, yeah. I mean, that's... Man, they're really crafting a very good narrative here.
Well, it's good to see them managing to do a 50-50 split, because I think in a lot of other games it started to feel like Paragon Renegade. It's like, okay, are you playing the good playthrough this time, or are you playing the bad playthrough this time?
Well, and that's where a game that has any sort of decision-making ability in it is your choice of two bad decisions.
Right. It's like playing The Witcher. It's like neither one is good. I guess I have to choose, but nobody wins. I don't even win with either one of these. Right,
and the main antagonist in this is Wow, it is so shocking. Like I cannot believe that that this is taking this way with this particular character. It's like it's outstanding. It
I
really is. Like the cliffhanger at the end of episode 3 is amazing, and what they lead into in the beginning of 4 is stuff I had no idea, not a
yeah.
clue.
I really hope they come out with the the whole season collection soon, so I can get that at the top of my GameFly queue. Because I feel like this is one of those that I feel like if you're enjoying a Batman story, then it has to be really good.
Well, yeah. I mean, most of the stuff with Batman seemed pretty rote at that point. The only reason why the Rocksteady games were so well is because the combat was so good. It wasn't the game and what the story was trying to tell you was holding you there. It
Yeah.
was that game mechanic was just so solid.
Well, especially Arkham Asylum, I think people forget that it's called Batman Combat for a reason. Like that was really good. Plus, they comboed it with a really solid Metroidvania, like a small enough but big enough map that you needed all your cool upgrades to get around. Man, I want to play that game again.
Yeah, I was right on the cusp of buying that one, and I was right on the cusp of buying
Oh, Darksiders?
Darksiders
Yeah.
again.
For
And I was
$20 for
like,
Darksiders, man, it's a good
yeah,
price.
but I played it, and I'm
I
like,
know.
man, I need to get something new.
Yeah,
I needed something new.
yeah,
Oh, but yeah, I wholly recommend that. And that one is quickly climbing the top 10 list.
nice. Hopefully they
Like
finish it
as
before.
like every Telltale game seems to do.
You start out and it's like, I don't know, this is fine, and then by episode 4, you're like, this is game of the year. Don't screw it up.
I mean, it's almost to that point right now.
Yeah.
If I hadn't enjoyed Doom so much,
Well, hopefully they finish it out before the end of the year. They've been cooking on that pretty fast, but we don't have long before we start recording our game of the year. So
okay, I played some more. Speaking of games, before I played through Res again. I
Oh,
played
yeah.
through Area X probably 3 or 4 more times.
So good.
And again, like it's seeing it's like seeing someone's potential that you're never going to see fulfilled.
I know.
It's
It's that
so
flash of brilliance from somebody who's never that smart, where you're like, oh my god, really?
yes, this is what you can do.
Yeah.
And then
Did you get the other boss in Area X?
I honestly couldn't tell you the difference between the two of
I
them.
think like one is red and one is white. They have 2 different songs.
Honestly,
Yeah.
I'm just so in the moment in that game because it really forces you.
Yeah.
Now, how many upgrades are there to your floater?
In Area X?
Yes,
I think
because
there's only like 3 or 4.
the most I only got to was the Buddhist looking thing.
I think that might be the highest. The only trophy that I got related to that was I finished Area X without getting hit. But I didn't get one for upgrading anything.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know, but man, it's glorious.
Res is still good. I need to get back into playing through Direct Assault so I can get that trophy.
Oh, I mean, I've done like I did that through the PlayStation 2 version, the Dreamcast version, unlocking the Malarian.
Yep.
I don't want to do it again.
I've put in my
I
time.
don't. I know it's there.
Yeah.
I just don't. I just don't want to.
I haven't done it since the PS2 version. I looked at it on the 360 version. I'm like, man, I know it's only like 8
God,
hours.
Did it on that one too.
Yeah. I know it's only like 8 hours, but for some reason on the 360 version, I was thinking like, I don't know. Maybe not.
It's like I just don't want to burn myself out completely on this game.
Mm-hmm.
For as many times as I played it, and for as many times I listened to that soundtrack in my car, like
Well,
I just.
it still holds up. It's still a game that even after playing it for, dozens of hours, it still holds up, and you don't want to cross that bridge. You don't want to like tip over that precipice and be like, well, now Res, I'm sick of Res.
Well, it's like that when you would conquer a game years ago, where once it was done, you never touched it again.
Yeah, it's like, God, I'm finally, I cannot play that game anymore.
Like it's like I felt the same way when I pounded my way through Curse of Darkness and I got every little ducat in that game.
Yep.
Like, everything.
Yep.
I stole all the elements from thing, and I reloaded, stole the guy's laser sword and everything. Like, I just there wasn't another thing I could do in that game.
Yeah.
At all. And same thing with Gungrave. Once I unlocked all the little packages of characters and the action figures, like, I can't do it.
I can't see this game anymore.
Right. You know, and same thing with Ace Combat 6. Once I got the experimental jet and went and found all those little pieces of parts, I never used that jet. Like, I was done.
Because you had done all the grinding. You were done.
Oh, I felt the same way about Zone of the Enders too. Like, even when the HD versions came out, like, I could not bring myself to go through that agony again.
That's funny, because when those HD versions came out, I was like, man, I remember how cool, like, that armless Jehuti was, and, like, you get all these cool unlockables, and I just, like, but maybe I don't want to do that. I don't even know if I finished one playthrough of it again.
No, I didn't finish the whole playthrough. I got to the point where I was in Jehuti, and I'm like, yes, I remember this, I'm out.
Yeah, it's still real good, but I might have been done. Like a couple years ago.
I can't do it again.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to go through that horrendous mission where you're in that tight quarters and you got to use the Geese blaster or the little fish shotgun thing. Like, I don't want to do that.
I just want to do the part where you're flying from ship to ship and you get that giant cannon
the ion cannon that comes over top, or the mission where you literally have thousands of enemies in front of you. Yes, that's awesome. I want Dynasty Warriors, Zone of the Enders.
Just give me a chapter select.
Yes, just let me do that. I mean, clearly, if I bought this, I have played this before.
Yeah.
Please.
Man.
Let me plug in my memory card somewhere. I don't care how to.
Exactly.
But, yeah, so Rez, I don't want to hit that bridge because you cannot go back.
Well, and it's
like burning your boats. Like, there's no way out.
Rez is always nice because you can sit down, like, on a rainy Sunday night and just say, like, I have an hour. Let's just blast through Rez. Once Area 5 is done, I'm good. I can like go to bed and we're good.
Yeah, I had a bad day. Yeah. I'm gonna pump up the volume and just
shake the windows
out for a bit.
Yeah.
Right. I want the posters off the walls.
Right.
Oh man. Let's see. I actually watched Scott play Titanfall 2 for the first time. And just watching someone enjoy that game is every bit as good as playing it.
Yeah. I'm excited to get that for the single player. I keep hearing great things about it.
It just, man, the little things that game does well so much is it made your Titan such a character and you cared.
Yeah.
It does a thing where you actually care about a robot.
And that's such an accomplishment for a game like that.
It just even the quick interluding conversations that you have. Like, you usually have like two choices, up or down. You know, one's usually kind of a sarcastic response, and the way he responds to sarcasm is just great. It's really earnest responses and whatnot. Right. And you're like, come on, man, I was kidding. Like, I'm just joking a little bit.
Yeah.
Come on, let me have some fun, BT.
Oh man.
You know, like there's one spot where you're in an enclosed arena and you can see, you have your pilot vision or whatnot. You can see BT behind this wall, and he's like, "Look, my targeting things are all messed up. I can't." He's like, "Just shoot!" He's like, firing into my pilot's location would conflict with Prime Directive number 3 or something.
Right.
Maintain safety of the pilot. No. While you're getting bombarded by these bombs and stuff, like, gosh.
Yeah. Rip my heart out.
That's great. The thing always does the right thing. It's frustrating. We played some late night horde mode. We decided to play because now we're in the process of trying to game horde mode because we cannot really advance in the higher difficulties because we don't quite have the perks that we need to really succeed in these areas.
Okay.
like I'm primarily working on my soldier class, so that means I have to earn these coins that I can spend in game to get like the loot crates, like these horde crates that are
Right.
specifically for horde cards. They're not like burn cards, but like you have to get like level 1 is get one of the cards. Level 2 is you get 3 of the cards and you upgrade and it gives you a little bit of boost.
So
Like
it's pretty similar to Animation Throwdown, where it's like, all right, you have enough of these, you can sort of combine them and level up that skill.
exactly, or
Yeah.
you can scrap them and then you can create a card from scrap.
Okay.
So if you're really focused on one class, you can scrap all these cards and really make all these other ones work well with you.
Right.
And that opened up a whole new rabbit hole of the pin packs strikes again.
Oh no. Oh no.
Yes, I have already dropped $20 on horde packs.
Oh.
So, and then I just found in my truck I have 2 gift certificates from a birthday. So I have another $50 or no $65 to drop on this stuff.
It's just going right in there.
Or I can buy a game, but I kind of feel I want these packs.
So, I think I haven't had a chance to play Gears 4 yet. What? So it sounds like you guys, sort of as a collective, are kind of having a problem leveling up a lot of these skills or getting enough credits to buy the in-game crates to level up these skills. Do you?
No, you completely forget they're there.
Oh, okay.
Like,
I got
like
the
here's the
impression.
thing, like after every match, like or every 10 waves, like you get this little thing, you get a little pocket of change after your XP bar, and you'll see your little tokens in the corner. Like you get those collected at the milestones, like the 10s. And then like you know, by the time you drop out of the game, you're back into it the next time you play. You totally forget they're even there.
Oh, okay.
Like every time I've gone back in, I've had like anywhere between 25 and 3,000. 2,500, 3,000 of these tokens, and 400 gets you a horde pack.
Oh, okay.
So you buy like 4 or 5 of them, and you open them up, and you know they all, most of them dump into classes you don't even use.
Right.
Because there's like 5 classes. Wait, there's soldier, scout, sniper, heavy, and engineer. Yeah.
Okay.
So there's a lot of cards and stuff to level
Just
up, and
a lot
I
of
was just
stuff.
like, so I was doing this. I was just leveling them up, and then, man, who was up late? Urgent's like, you could scrap those cards. You're not going for the class you're not going to use. I'm like, what? Scrap? What do I do with this scrap? He's like, oh, you can craft a card that you want. Like, oh gosh.
It's
And
sort of
then I immediately bought another pack of 15. Like,
it's sort of unfortunate you didn't play Hearthstone, because that was very much the idea that ruled Hearthstone was, if you don't care about these cards, you got some dupes, turn those into dust, turn the dust into other cards that you want, and then sort of craft your collection.
pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's the way those cards work. I just unlocked the level 2 Hammer of Dawn, which I haven't used yet. I cannot wait to get that thing, because, man, hardcore, we couldn't get through 10 levels.
Wow.
Not just a little bit, like, we were maybe killing 6 enemies before.
You were just getting one-shotted?
Well, it's the the horde bosses. Like, those things would come in. They would push so hard, like they just roll right through everything you have going on.
Wow.
So you couldn't figure any line of defense to stop this. And trying to corral these to you, like we tried different areas, a part of this map. So we've primarily been playing the dam level. So you're either on the dam side or the beach side. The beach side seems to be working out well, because you can kind of tuck the fabricator around the corner a little bit, and you can kind of set up a Hogan's Alley of disaster for these things to run into.
Right.
And still be able to escape to a spot with cover if you have the helicopter coming at you. That you have some over-the-head cover that you don't have to worry about as much.
Right.
But the same vein, we're all trying to level up, because, let's see, I'm level 4 with my soldier, so I have 2 perk cards that I could use. I mean, level 10 gives you, like, 5, and I was like, man, that'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Right now, because right now I'm torn between getting my active reload bonus or an extra 40% damage on the assault rifle. Because you absolutely need the increase. I think it's up like 60% ammo capacity on the Lancer.
Jeez.
So I'm starting around with like 900 bullets now.
Right. You're good for a real long time.
And I need every one of them.
Yeah.
Because still, that is still like the go-to gun in that game.
Yeah.
On an active reload, that thing is still unstoppable. Plus a 40% damage boost on it is...
That's huge.
It makes like the harder difficulties a little bit easier. But if I had that encompassed with a few other perks to go on, I think it would make Horde mode even more fun.
Yeah, it sounds like you'd finally feel like you had all your skills and bonuses lined up, that you feel like you'd have a fighting chance at that point.
Well, it's now that you can see a path that you can play the game more effectively, and
right.
I think that's something the other Horde modes really didn't quite have.
Yeah,
especially now that it's class-based.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, other Horde modes was just sort of like, well, you can play it on the harder difficulties, and there's more enemies, and you really need to active reload, but that's about it.
Yeah, you had no way to put yourself in a better position. I mean, because even that, like, you shouldn't figure out ways that you could get more power to upgrade the Fabricator. The highest we've ever gotten is level 3.
Right.
And we through, after we got stonewalled at level 10, then we blew through it on casual, like all 50 waves. Oh, and then there's the bounty bonuses too. So now there's a whole row of bounty cards. Like the one I just finished was, you get an extra 5,000 XP if I kill 100 enemies in a Horde round.
Oh, okay, that's not so bad.
That's great. Like I have one that's like 10,000 XP, finished 1 through 50 on normal.
That's doable.
No, it's not.
Well, it will be doable.
But those are ways that we can get these get our particular classes leveled up faster.
Well, and at least with the bounty cards, it gives you a goal to work towards. It's like, all right, I need to do 1 to 50 on normal. So here are the things you're starting to get into the gameplay that I like. And the thing that keeps me going with Destiny a lot, it's like, okay, here's the end goal I have, and it's all the way down the field, but here's what I need to do to get 10 yards further, and I just need to take these steps that get me a little bit further and a little bit further, and after all this stuff, then I'll have that goal, and then there'll be another one right after that, and you do more steps to get to that next one.
Yeah, and that's what it's all alluding to. So,
and for that to be in a Gears game is pretty great.
Yeah, in a nice, fun arena to play in, because I still love the Horde mode. I still think is one of my favorite modes to play, because I'm not into the competitive shooter anymore the way I used to.
Well, especially not in Gears. It's not what we're looking for. I
don't need rolly shotguns. I just don't. I just don't need that in my life at all.
Well, especially now that rolly shotguns have been a problem for... This is be the 5th game. It's not a problem that's going to be fixed, so there's no real reason to...
It's not even a problem I think they want to fix.
Yeah, I mean, probably not, because I'm sure there'd be a revolt, but now we know that that's a very cemented way that multiplayer is going to play, and we know we don't like that, so there's not even really any reason to spend any time in that half of the multiplayer. Oh,
exactly. So, I don't know, we're down for a Horde whenever.
Yeah.
Someone throws out the Horde call, we all come running. Like, really, we do.
Yeah.
All right, and then the last game I played this week was... I decided to get back on my mission of the year, is to finish Halo the Anniversary Collection. So, I'm in Halo 2.
Okay.
I started it up, and I was in a part where I was fighting the Flood again.
Fantastic. My favorite part of the Halo games.
So, and I kept hitting this brick wall. Like, I could not move fast enough to get away from them, and I could not combat all the Flood coming at me in an effective manner at all.
Okay.
To the point where I was literally ready to break the game.
Okay.
Like, I just physically snap this disc in half, microwave, stab it, and bury it. Because it was done. Like, I hate this game.
Yeah.
At this point, it's like, at what point in anyone's life was this fun at any point in time?
Right.
And I'm losing my mind, and I finally get Moonfear to go co-op, because that's the only way I could have piggybacked through, because I would get further, I'd die, he'd spawn on me, then I would go further, and then
Yeah.
I'd die, and then we
You do
would
the
leapfrog
famous
our way.
Halo relay race.
Yeah,
Yeah.
essentially we did that all the way through that. And flipping back and forth between the original graphics and the updated graphics for the talking plant was hilarious. Oh my
I
gosh.
bet.
That was one of the weirdest looking things. I'm like, no wonder people hated this.
Yeah, like those hot original Xbox graphics.
So I finished this, and I'm like, what's going on? And then he'd start explaining, like, I don't care.
Right.
I just don't. I just need to get through this. So hopefully this week I will get through Halo 3,
Okay.
and then 4, and then I don't know what I'm going to do with this game.
I played Halo 3,
I haven't.
and I think it's better than the other ones. Not my favorite one, but
It is, man.
it's just rough. I mean, it's to me, I bet it's the same. If you never played Half-Life 1 originally, and you go back to play it now, and you're just like, this is a mess. Why do people love this? This is rough.
I don't know,
Yeah.
because I played Halo 1 when it came out, and I hated it
I mean,
then.
everybody played Halo 1 when it came out, and you and I seem to be the only people that hated it.
Oh my gosh! Like I'm sitting, I'm looking at it, and I'm like, I have my computer right here, and I can play Unreal Tournament like nobody's business.
Yeah.
And
Well,
I
that
go in
was
this,
the-
and I feel like I have sandbags tied to me.
Well, that was the real popularity of Halo. Was I feel like it's the same popularity of Final Fantasy VII, where people were with 7. They played their first RPG, their first JRPG, and like, wow, this is a game with story, and this is a game that's pretty cool. And it's like, yeah, but there are better ones. It's same with Halo, where it's like, if you didn't have a computer, or this was your first person shooter, it was revolutionary.
Well, yeah, and I mean, and that was the thing that soured me on console shooters for so long.
Yep.
Was Halo, because it just seemed like everything tried to emulate that, and it wasn't until Valve entered the arena with, I think it was Left 4 Dead was the first one that felt tuned right,
It
and
really
that
clicked
opened
with you.
this floodgate
Yep.
of games.
Yep. Man.
That became more of the default input for myself.
Right.
But man,
Godspeed, Knobs.
that game's bad.
Yeah.
I mean, that is. I don't care if I'm stepping on people's childhood, man. That is not fun.
No, I think Halo 2 is, from what I've seen, it's widely regarded as not really a misstep, but really kind of the weakest link of that series.
Oh, and that ending, man, I can only imagine that. That was a poke in the eye, and I don't even like it.
Oh God, the rage from people that
Oh
was
man,
original. It just
it hits that crescendo moment and just goes dink, and
yeah,
you're like,
just credits.
what?
Yeah, just the stab in the back for a lot of people, especially because people got, especially with Halo 1 and 2, people got so into the lore of those games, and it seemed like it hit people not only from like, hey, I spent $50 on this, and I feel like I didn't get the full game, but they didn't get any storyline resolution either. So you sort of get a 1-2 punch.
Well, all right, honestly, I think here's the thing that drives me crazy about Halo franchise more than anything else. That game should be in my wheelhouse more than any other game.
That's true.
That game checks so many boxes.
Yeah.
It's semi-silent protagonist. It's in space. You're fighting a cool alien race.
Yep.
You're jumping around a really cool environment. No, don't get me wrong. The Halo is an amazing concept.
Yep, it's really cool.
Visually and executionally is awesome. It's just, I don't know what it is with this thing. I think that's why I'm always so upset with it, because it follows so many things that I love in games.
But then it falls on its
disrupts-
face when it comes to the shooting. Like, I think that's the core issue that you and I have, is the shooting never clicked with us. It's something about how it controls, and something about like that moment-to-moment encounter structure that the Halo games rely on so heavily. there's something about it that's just anathema to us, and it's such a huge wall, and we can't overcome it.
But even at moment of moment, it's like running into arena after arena, which is what we grew up with.
Yeah.
Like, that's
room
Doom.
to room and Doom.
That's like, oh my god, it's a big open area. What's coming at me next?
Yeah.
It just...
And I think if we're going to be honest, now that we're a lot older than we were when Halo 2 came out, I think we were being a little hipstery about it. to be honest, because we were looking at stuff like Gun Valkyrie, and we were looking at a Togi, and we were saying, you have this console that has 10... Let's not be too generous about the original Xbox's catalog. You have like 10 other really great games you could be playing, but you're just playing Halo 1 and 2. Like, what about all these other great games?
You're playing Halo 1 and 2 and Max Payne. Like,
right.
That was it. That's all they played. I was like,
yeah.
Dude, Jet Set Radio. What are you doing? This game is amazing.
Yeah. Musum in chat says, at the time, Halo 2 matchmaking was near revolutionary for consoles. Halo 2 was really about the movie more than anything. I do have to say, the online stuff that Bungie pioneered, especially with like matching up people that are different, that are similar rankings, and voting for maps, hadn't really been done on consoles before. Obviously, they've been done on PC, but there was a lot of online stuff that they had figured out. Well, yeah,
that stuff was old hat to us.
But they had figured out Xbox Live, and I think if you hadn't been on the internet, then if you weren't part of Quake World, that was another thing that was revolutionary. You look at Halo and it's like, I can play against my friends in the same dorm. It's like, well, yeah, I mean, of course you can. Why wouldn't you?
Oh man, I don't know. Like, it's funny, like, because around that same time there was a game that the Unreal Group made that was called what was it? Pariah.
Oh, Pariah, yeah.
That I believe at that time, like, I'm sitting there looking at Halo, watching. I was like, yeah, but this is so much better.
Right. Just look at this.
Look, this plays so much better.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, I'm done Halo Bash right now.
Okay.
But no. So until next week.
You're getting there. You're progressing. You still have a month. You can do it.
I do.
I believe in you.
It's gonna happen. Yeah. It's gonna happen.
Anything else you played this week?
No. Well, other than the mobile stuff. Animation Domination. Yeah.
On the mobile front, the Doctor Strange event is wrapping up for Marvel Avengers Academy. Yet again, they've kind of improved on the last one. This one stumbled out of the gate, but kind of resolved itself by the end. The two premium characters this time were Nico from the Runaways and the Ancient One. Both of those were really cheap. Nico was like $3, and the Ancient One I think was $5. In previous events, it was sort of like, well, both of them are $10. I really appreciate that this game is making a much clearer line between free to play and pay to play, which I think I talked about last week. But with every event, there's even different sections of the menu. Like, this one has a gray star and this one has a gold star, and the gold star is very clearly, if you pay money, these are the things that are your sort of your goalposts. If you don't, this other area, you'll still get a great reward, but it's very clear, if you don't want to spend any money, then these are the rewards you're going to get. If you do, here are the crazy rewards you're going to get.
Mm-hmm.
And I really appreciate that, because in events past, it's sort of been like, well, how am I going to get that? Oh, well, you dangled the carrot in front of me, but I'd have to spend $50 to get to that, so...
That's where I topped out.
Yeah. And thankfully now, you can spend $50 to get this other stuff, that's the free-to-play stuff, but I feel like I'm not missing out on anything anymore. Like, I finish my storyline, and I get some cool stuff, and I get all the characters because I play it a lot, but all this other crazy stuff, I'm good without. That's all premium stuff, and that's okay by me. But they, at the end of this event, they teased the next event, and it looks like something having to do with Lady Thor. So I don't know what that could be, but Lady Thor's cool.
Oh, you know who Lady Thor is, right?
Mm-mm.
It's Joan Foster.
Oh, interesting. I did not know that. That's pretty cool. See, I'm learning
And
all this new stuff.
well, yeah, I hope I'd be surprised if Angela's in it. That might pull me back in.
Yeah,
That's still one of my favorite characters, and not
yeah,
even from the Marvel universe, from the Image universe that they somehow pulled into Marvel.
right. There were a lot of really weird characters in this one, like Wong and Doctor Voodoo, and some characters I've never even come close to hearing about.
Well, Wong's Doctor Strange's butler,
Oh, okay.
like Batman's butler.
Yeah,
He's
but
the Alfred.
with more punching.
Yes.
I played a little bit more Forza Horizon 3. I feel like I'm at the point now where I will. Thankfully, it's downloadable because I think every once in a while I'll pop in there for an hour or two, get some more races done, make a little bit more progress. But I feel like I. Oh, Musim's right in chat. They also did bring up Thor and Loki's sister, neither of whom are in the game at the moment. You can get Thor early access, I think, but I'm not spending $20 to get Thor. I'm okay. I feel like I'm at the point with Forza Horizon 3 where I've kind of gotten everything done that I really wanted to get done, and everything else is just more more championships, more of the street races and stuff that's good, but I don't need to power through that stuff right now to feel good about how long I've played that game. Forza Horizon 3 is still really great. I think for me it's probably the best out of the series. I think it goes 3, then 1, then 2. 2 is kind of clearly the misstep in 3, in the 3 games. But I still think it's great. I think if you like Forza and you like the Horizon games, I think there's so much stuff in there that it's well worth a purchase. Absolutely worth a rent, for sure. But and it looks so good. It's one of those games where it reminds me of racing games on like the Dreamcast and the PS2, where a new racing game comes out and you're like, how is this? Is that CG? Yeah. Like, how is this? It's one of those where it looks so good. And like, there's one moment where I was racing. I was doing like a night race, I think. So it was, of course, night, and it was raining. And as you're going through, you couldn't really see the rain when you were racing, but as you go under streetlights, you'd see the rain in the streetlights light sort of racing at your hood, and it's like, who would think to do that? Like, how much time and how much power do you have with this Xbox One that maybe that's the power of the cloud? Rain. Yeah. But last but not least, I played probably about 3 hours of Deus Ex Mankind Divided. Which I think everyone listening to the show for a while will note that's about 2.5 hours longer than I played the previous one. So I am immediately, for some reason, way more taken by Mankind Divided than I was with Human Revolution. Was the other one?
Yes.
Yeah. I have to give them a ton of credit. The tutorials in that were really good. I liked that. So for anyone that hasn't played it, basically you come up to this new area, and it'll ask you, hey, do you want to do a tutorial? There's no consequences. And I was sort of like, what the hell does that mean? And basically it sandboxes you in this room, often without enemies that are going to see you or interact with you at all, and you get to make mistakes on figuring out how to vault over cover or sneak up behind a dude and give him the Chokey Roberts without screwing up the game that you're playing right now. You go through the tutorial and it basically dumps you back in the same room, and now you have consequences. But you already messed around in this tiny little sandbox, so you know how to do all that stuff. I thought that was really great. I wish more games would do that.
That game opened really strong.
Yeah, I did the same thing in Mankind Divided that I did in Human Revolution. And I didn't look at the stupid map, and I missed the optional objective. I remember in Human Revolution, I played that intro, I think 3 or 4 times. Every time I get to the end, and they're like, why didn't you save the hostages? And it's like, damn, that's right. I forgot the hostages. And this same one, they're like, oh, go and turn off this one thing. And at the end, they're like, oh, dude, you forgot to go do that. I was like, oh, right, I forgot to stupid turn it. Yeah, all right, that's fine. So far, I've only killed one dude, and that was in the end of the tutorial, that tutorial mission, where those guys with the masks start storming you. Shot one of those with a handgun. He had it coming, but
yeah, no, those guys were a problem.
Yeah,
they gotta go.
Well, and I feel like that tutorial mission is well suited for a second playthrough, because all you have to do is turn on that cloaking stuff, scooch over to the side of the helicopter, rip out a battery, and the mission is over.
Yep.
And when I did that, I was like, oh, that's okay. Well, that's much easier than I was making it out to be.
Right, but then like to find that path, you're like, oh man, I should have started here.
Yeah, exactly.
Wait, there are some great characters, but there is probably the most confusing level. One of the most confusing levels I've ever played is Gollum City, because it is so vertical, and you have no idea how to get anywhere.
Yeah, I've been. The very first mission is, there's that explosion at the beginning of the game, and Jensen wakes up, and your augs or whatever are all screwed up. And the very first mission is, well, go talk to this dude. He'll fix you up. The game fails to mention you don't have any weapons. I got the tranquilizer rifle at the very beginning because I thought, well, why wouldn't I want a sleepy sniper rifle?
Oh, they don't fall asleep for long.
Well, they've been doing okay. I'm on the normal difficulty, but I don't stick around too long. And there's really no ammo for that at the very beginning of the game.
No.
And you sneak over to this area. So first off, it has you go through all this stuff to get into the sort of back alleys of this area. And you go in, and there's like 7 dudes. And there's a building in the middle of this square. And it's like, go ahead over there. That's where the dude is. It's like, well, that's not going to happen right now. I don't even have anything. So I've been mainly focusing on I think 3 or 4 side quests that are available. One of them is about that neon drug. That's the one I'm doing right now. I did the one where that dude was in the sewers and he's brainwashing all these people.
Yes.
that was a weird mission that I kind of liked because I didn't think the game would go weird, and I appreciate that it did.
Did you find the bowling balls yet in there? Like in the trash in the sewers, there's like a little bowling thing. You just start throwing bowling balls at the pins.
No, I'll have to go find that. I did the mission with where you have to. That lady is making those fake ID cards, and you have to go get them activated. I wish
and you're stuck with a horrible choice.
Yeah, I really wish that. I wish that wasn't an optional mission, because I feel like that was a great training ground for sneaking into somewhere, getting something done, and sneaking back out as quickly as possible.
Yeah, and I think tonally that narrative in that side mission fits so well into the things you have to wrestle with in that game.
Yeah. Yeah, so I've only gotten about 3 or 4 hours in, because every time I have sat down to play it lately, if there's something going on with the baby or something going on in the house, and my family's in town too, so I'm not going to sit there and be like, no, hold on, I gotta go figure out my augs here. I really like Mankind Divided, and I don't understand why I didn't like Human Revolution, because they're pretty much the same game. The only thing that still drives me nuts is the hacking. I get it. Yeah. I get what I'm doing. I understand what you want me to do. And I have only gotten through one hacking where I didn't set off the alarm. And that kind of drives me crazy, and I don't know why. I feel like I'm doing something wrong.
I started with all the little scrap pieces. I just started crafting Omni tools and just multi-tools or whatever they're called in that game.
Well, and there's a lot of frustrating stuff, and I'm trying to take the attitude that it's a Metroidvania, because I see, you in the intro you had that punch through walls thing. I don't have that again because I haven't talked to the dude to fix me up. So there's a bunch of areas I can't get to that need that stuff. I don't have any hacking above level 1. So there's all these safes and, doors that I can't get into and computers I can't open yet, which I initially wanted to be frustrated about. And I was like, well, I need to treat these 5 or 6 areas in Prague, a little bit more. My favorite, Prague. I wanted to treat it more like I'd never be back to this area again, but it's like 5 or 6 little open world areas. So I just need to chill out about it. And then I spent about a half an hour last night. There's a property bank in one of the areas.
Oh, man.
And I got this key card that said, it opens this vault in the property bank.
I never got in there.
Well, it's so funny because, first off, there's a receptionist, and I go to talk to him. He's like, "Excuse me, sir, I'm finishing a conversation with this gentleman here." And I was just like, "Wait, what?"
Yeah,
that's not how this works. And I had to sit there for probably about a minute for them to finish their conversation. That dude wandered away, and he goes, "Okay, how can I help you now?" It's like, what is happening in this game?
I thought that was a great little touch.
Yeah, I was just like,
because you totally just got dissed by the maitre d'.
You're not the hero. Like, no one cares about you. And I asked him a whole bunch of questions, and I started wandering around, but I couldn't find a place to put this card, and it's going to drive me. I'm not going to look it up, but it's going to drive me crazy for a really long time.
I couldn't get in there, and I hacked everything in that place.
Yeah.
It was total bedlam. I hacked every security. I had all the turrets kill everyone in the building, and I still couldn't find the spot.
Jeez. Yeah, I feel like this game is the game I need right now, and it really is scratching some sort of itch. The only thing I have to say is the default control scheme drives me insane. Like L3 to duck, or R3 to duck, L3 to hide behind cover. Like, I need to change that to some other control scheme.
There's 3 or 4 different. I think there's 4 different control schemes that are preset in there.
I wish it had asked me about the control scheme later, because it was basically when you started the game. It's like, do you want the Mankind Divided? Do you want the Human Revolution? Do you want the first-person shooter one? I was like, I haven't played anything yet. Like, I don't really know. I sort of wish they'd asked you at the end of the tutorial mission, where it's like, all right, now you played a little bit. Like, which one of these do you want? Because I feel like I might want the first-person shooter one.
You do.
Yeah. Because if I can click a stick to run...
X is reload, click and run, and B to crouch.
Yeah, that'll be the one I pick.
Yes.
Because a lot of times I'm going and I'm trying to sneak around, and I hit, I think it's X, and it just doesn't do anything. And I'm just like, and the guy's like, "Hey, there's that guy over there." And it's like, damn it.
Yes.
Now I'll just have to, you guys will have to kill me, and I'll just have to reload. We'll just do that then. But I'm hoping in the next week I can play a little bit more, so I can start digging into kind of the main story of that. Oh, speaking of, I don't know if you watched the 12-minute recap video from this game. That was done pretty well. As a dude that didn't play that previous game, I felt like I had a pretty good grasp of what happened.
It grabbed a lot of the assets from that game too, because I had totally forgotten about that. The guy hiding in plain sight in that bodysuit.
Yeah.
I was like, man, I forgot how good that boss battle was.
I really wish they hadn't had Jensen narrate that though.
Yeah.
That dude is good for a line or two, but a 12-minute video of him narrating that was a little rough. But yeah, I'm kind of glad that they were able to recap that, because if not, I'd still be playing this game, but I wouldn't know why everyone was upset about the incident.
Yeah.
So. But that's all I've been playing this week, so let's take a break.
Cool. I gotta pee.
Good luck. I'll stay here and chat with chat.
I'll go work on my kegels.
Hi, everyone. How's everyone doing?
Oh.
A sleepy Sunday here. Had too much turkey these last couple days. Still shaking it off. Boston will be getting Final Fantasy 15 PS4 or Xbox, I'm undecided. I'll be getting it for PS4. I have the deluxe edition with the steel case pre-ordered. PS4 is my primary platform this gen, and I feel like unless the game has some sort of crazy exclusives, like if you look at something like The Division, that would maybe push me over to Xbox One over PS4. But otherwise, I like the PS4 OS better. I like the controller better. You know, everything about that is better. I'm really looking forward. We'll talk about it here in a minute, but I'm really looking forward to Final Fantasy 15 because I don't really know anything about it. I have not been watching trailers. I didn't watch that anime series. I didn't watch the movie that came out. I played the 2 demos, but I didn't play a ton of those. So I'm pretty excited to dig into that and see what that's doing. I should probably finish Deus Ex first, but we're coming up on another episode of Pup here pretty soon, so I feel like I need to get some time with 15 in before when is that? Oh, that's this weekend. I feel like I need to get some time with 15 in before we go record that episode, because I don't think Mina's getting it, and I think Musim's still on the fence, so the very least, if Musim doesn't get it, at the very least we can talk about it a little bit. Hopefully I'll get a couple hours through that and see what I can get done. But now that friggin' Persona 5 got pushed back into 2028, Final Fantasy 15 will have to tide me over for a while. I'm glad. I want to be upset at Atlas because they pushed back Persona 5, especially since it's been out in Japan for so long. But I know a lot of people care about the Japanese VO. I don't. I'm really glad that it'll be an option, and I'm happy that they're really focusing on the quality of that. Musim says I haven't canceled my pre-order, so I'm guessing getting it by Tuesday. All right, join us on Picking Up the Pixels December 3rd, 3 p.m. Pacific, around this time, to hear Musim and I talk about our initial impressions of Final Fantasy 15. I really wish I could download that day one patch early. I feel like that's the next big thing for consoles, is let me just download a patch before I have the game. Because I'd start downloading that day one patch now, if at all possible. But maybe that's what you get when you buy digitally. Yep. My daughter's starting to get upset down there about something. But I feel like I was talking to my wife about Final Fantasy 15. I feel like I don't have super high hopes for the quality of it, but it's still, as an RPG fan, it's still an event. Like there's a new mainline Final Fantasy game coming out, and I feel like even whether it's good or bad, it's another Final Fantasy game. It's like when a new Dragon Quest game comes out, it's still an event. It's still a big thing, and I hope it does well, because I'd like Square Enix to keep making Final Fantasy games. I don't know how many of them they will have by the time I perish, but hopefully they stop making sequels to Final Fantasy 13. Although I like 13 too, so I can't crap at talk it too much. See if there's any other news stories here while Knobs is. Rumor is that Marvel vs. Capcom 4 will be unveiled at next week's PSX. I don't really know. Yeah, I haven't been excited for Final Fantasy games since 9. Yeah, I feel like if you didn't like 12, it's been a really long time since there's been an exciting Final Fantasy game. Someone here on NeoGaf crap talking Darksiders 2 over 1, which I think is just crazy. People reminiscing about Final Fantasy 7. Talk about No Man's Sky already in a minute. I think I hear Knobs talking to Moon in the background. Someone asking for a good iOS building game. Oh, they're looking at more Kairosoft games. Man, Kairosoft makes some good stuff. I wonder if they've come out with anything recently. Kairosoft. Kairosoft games for iPhone. The Mango Works. I think that's the one I already played. Hi.
Sorry, peace up.
That's alright. Okay, so there is a new Kairosoft game. The Mango Works. It's basically...
Are you making salsa?
No, that's the Mango Works. No, it's basically game dev story or anime studio story, but for manga. Manga. It's $5. Let me go check out what the ratings are. I feel like tossing $5 more to Kairosoft is never a bad idea. Mango Works. 4 stars with 9 reviews. Alright. Pretty good rating.
I was listening to NPR the other day, and I downloaded this game. I haven't played it yet. It's supposed to be like an Alzheimer's test. It's called Sea Hero.
Sea Hero.
Yeah, they're using it to figure out like memory cognition and whatnot.
Interesting.
Through it, I was like, oh, I'll check that out. And download it. Never played it.
You forgot about it.
Yeah.
Hey, folks. Surprised you guys haven't played Luminous on iOS. It costs money. I've heard it's really good.
Well, I don't have an iPhone, so
I think it's on Android now.
I don't care.
Yeah, I feel like, to me,
I have my Luminous player.
Yeah, I feel like everyone says that it controls really well on iOS. I don't know. I don't know. Can it? Can it really?
Do I really need to play that game more than I do already? And like, I don't talk about it anymore because I play it every day.
Yeah. Like, I don't talk about Final Fantasy Record Keeper because I'm playing that every day. Oh, God. Okay.
All right, you ready?
No, I'm ready.
All right, ready in 3, 2, 1. Welcome back, everybody. We got releases this week for the week of November 28th, 2016. Steins Gate 0 for PlayStation 4 and Vita.
I am so excited for this game. It's a sequel to Steins Gate, and it's almost impossible to talk about without spoiling the first game, but it basically continues the storyline of one of the bad endings in the first Steins Gate. And it looks real good.
All right. Final Fantasy 15 for the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One.
I was talking with chat a little bit here during the break, but I'm excited about Final Fantasy 15 because I don't really know that much about it. I'm not watching trailers through no real malice or anything. I didn't watch the anime. I didn't watch the movie.
Oh, that anime was bad.
Really?
Oh boy, it was bad.
I'm kind of going in blind, and I'm excited number one, to go in blind to a Final Fantasy game, but I'm also excited because there's a new mainline Final Fantasy game. That's a
If
big
you
event.
like it, if you like it, since apparently I doubled up and ordered it twice, I
Yeah.
have another copy of it.
Of which one?
Uh,
Kingsglaive?
Kingsglaive.
Yeah, I get that. I bought the deluxe edition, so I get a Blu-ray copy of that. So, yeah, I'm
Right,
good
so
on
you're
the
good?
I'm good on the weird Final Fantasy CG front.
Good. Oh,
Yeah,
I'll
but-
get the move.
Hopefully, I'll blow through a couple hours by next week, and I'll have some impressions.
Alrighty. All right, and Super Mario Maker for the 3DS and the 3DS.
Yeah, this is one of the dumber decisions Nintendo has made. The full title is Super Mario Maker for Nintendo 3DS.
For
Did you
the
need to
3DS.
do that? That's not great.
That's weird.
All right, moving on to news stories. Does anyone remember Hello Games? They made No Man's Sky and then disappeared off the face of the planet. Well,
Yes.
they're back. They have finally broken their silence by saying, hey, patch 1.1 is coming out, aka the Foundation update. It adds base building, a bunch of other stuff. I just watched a 6.5 minute trailer about it today. It seems like a pretty cool update. You can build bases. You basically designate a home planet, and you can sort of teleport from the space stations to your home planet and then teleport back. You can purchase these giant space frigates that you can build inside of and have like as a financial trading base. The thing that my wife immediately said after watching that trailer is, I don't think that's going to bring anyone back. And I think she's absolutely right. And I really wish, Hello Games has said, they have this whole thing where it's like, we've been quiet, but we're listening and we're focused on improving and we're just really working hard. And this is the first step in, a longer journey for No Man's Sky. It's really been frustrating as someone who enjoys what No Man's Sky is, but to be honest, hasn't played it that much since it was released. It would have been nice to hear anything from Hello Games. There has been literally zero communication other than that time that their Twitter account got hacked and someone wrote No Man's Sky was a mistake. They went, no, that wasn't us. Still working. See you later. And then radio silence again. It's been unfortunate because I really wish that the PS4 had an early access sort of plan, because this would be a perfect early access game. Something like Terraria or Minecraft or any of these other games that are in a similar vein. I feel like No Man's Sky could have been really popular if it would have come out and would have started small and continued to build. Because I feel like if it wasn't $60 or if it was early access for $20 or something, I think a lot of people would have said, well, it's really good, the foundation is solid. Now they just need to put more stuff in there. But the expectation that the $60 package was going to be a complete and really robust game, that sort of landed a little flat. I think that's what really disappointed people. So hopefully No Man's Sky can get there in the end. It has a good foundation. Space is cool. Exploring platforms or planets is cool. Just needs to be more stuff. And dogs freaking out in the background. So
I don't know.
we'll see.
I haven't played it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you have a PS4, and I think it says a lot that you bought a PS4 and you feel no impulse to check it out.
Well, I can't say I didn't look at the box.
That's true. It does have cool box art. We're going to skip over one news story because I don't want to talk about it. Let's talk about our last news story here. Ubisoft's Vice President of Live Operations has stated that Ubisoft will no longer be making DLC that gamers feel obligated to buy.
What does that mean?
Basically, they're saying, like, we want the story of the game that you buy on disc to be a complete story. We don't want to sell a new ending. We don't want to sell, the Assassin's Creed middle chapter that was corrupted originally and you had to skip over. None of that stuff. They want to get, you buy a $60 disc, you get the entire story. You don't have to buy, there's no Prince of Persia, buy the ending, and then you get to see the last 2 or 3 hours. So, that sounds okay. It says
in theory, yeah, but sometimes like some of those augmented things that they bolt onto the game or actually make the game better as a whole.
Well, and I think it sounds like from what they're saying is that I don't know what is happening in the background.
Where? Here?
It sounds like rushing water happening.
Me?
Yeah, I think it's just your computer getting hot. I think part of what
it is. I got a notification. It's going to go nuclear.
Oh, okay. I think part of what they're saying is they can release story DLC, not just like let's finish the game story DLC. It can be like side stories, and it can be additional stuff, and it can be all that sort of stuff, but not like critical important things. And I think that's interesting. Now that Titanfall 2 is Respawn, right?
Right.
They came out and said, like, hey man, we don't have a season pass. All our maps are going to be free, all our updates are going to be free. They just pushed out an update with a in-game store that will not take real money. It just takes in-game currency, and it's only for skins. I feel like there's a couple of high-profile games and companies lately that are sort of saying, like, hey man, we don't want to do this anymore. Nobody really likes it. So DLC is going to be a little bit friendlier. But then I guess on the other end you still have EA. So what do I know?
You do.
Alright, let's move over to tweets. Rio H tweets, today marks the Dreamcast's 18th birthday. Would love to hear some memories you have, faves, things that were special, etc. Well, how much time do you have? I think if anyone who has listened to this show for any period of time, they know the Dreamcast is, I think, probably Knobs and my favorite console, probably of all time.
I would say it's up there. I mean, there are more than a few misses, but there are a lot of hits. I mean,
you even have weak ones like Fur Fighters and Armada. There were some launch games that were still pretty good games.
Yeah, like Ready to Rumble when that came out was like mind blowing.
Man, yeah, I was talking about racing games earlier that looked outstanding, but when
Metropolis Street Racer.
Oh, MSR. Oh, it's so good. Racing around the world with accurate time.
With accurate time. Like, time zones mattered. For, like, the first time in gaming, ever.
What was that super secret vehicle in there? Wasn't it just a lawnmower?
Yes, it was a lawnmower that you controlled like a tank.
Yeah.
That was faster than anything else in that game. You could race a double-decker bus.
Yeah. Man, like, playing Forza Horizon 3 scratched that itch again for me of the kudos system, because Forza does it really well where the higher your score is, the more it shakes on screen. So it's almost like amplitude, where you have a good rhythm going and that line between is really shaky. Yeah. I've gotten 170,000 points on some combos before. It's like 80,000 times 8 times this other stuff. And, oh god, it's so good.
Oh yeah, it's slowing down and just collecting it.
Yeah.
Whereas, like, the thing that I love the most, like, with its successor in Project Gotham, was, especially Project Gotham 2, where it had the cone races, where it had the corner cones and the speed cones. So it's enticing you to drive as controlled, reckless as possible.
Yep. Oh man. Yeah, I mean, the thing I remember about the Dreamcast is I bought it because ToeJam and Earl 3 was going to come out for it. And it was a done deal. And then it wasn't. And I was really upset because I was like, man, I bought this stupid console and there's not even going to be ToeJam and Earl. It's going to be awesome and it's not even out for this. But I think a couple of games deep, I I really fell in love with. I think we all liked Sonic Adventure at the time. It has not aged well, but
It, well, I
it
mean,
was a showpiece.
it was like the first things that you actually felt arcade perfect at home.
Yeah.
Soul Calibur was unbelievable.
I think Soul Calibur is still like the the standout game on that platform.
Yeah, Soul Calibur, just the way it looked and played, and that console introduced me to DOA 2,
Yep.
which was, and again, like when I initially started playing, like I hated it.
Yeah.
I was like, this is dumb. This doesn't have anything. And then I started playing through the training missions. I was like, oh,
counters. Okay.
all right, this is where it's at.
Yeah.
And that, man, that's a good game.
Well, I feel like you and I discovering our love of DOA 2 really set us down a different path for fighters. Because I think we diverged from the Mortal Kombat Street Fighter path. Mortal Kombat has since come back, and it's a much better game now. But I feel like that got us down the DOA and Guilty Gear and BlazBlue path, this like alternative fighter path.
Well, it must have been the hipster in us.
It must have been. A Street Fighter. No.
Yeah.
How many
where
threes
where
did
everyone
you have?
was playing Tekken, and you're like, you said that
God,
I play Tekken, so you're like, I don't understand why this is so popular.
I look at Tekken and I look at Virtua Fighter and I go, I'll take Virtua Fighter.
Yeah.
You and I are like the two people that'd be in the Virtua Fighter camp, putting Pac-Man on her head.
Oh, I'm sure there's more of us than that, but
yeah. Not enough to make more Virtua Fighters though.
No, same thing. Like even like the SNK properties. Like,
yep.
I would sooner play King of Fighters, especially King of Fighters '94. Oh my god.
Yeah. Well, what about like Capcom versus SNK and SNK versus Capcom? Those were outstanding games.
Yes.
There's a lot of good fighting games on that platform. Now I'm thinking about it.
Oh yeah, and that was the quintessential Marvel's Capcom 2 was on the Dreamcast.
That's still the best version. And I mean, there were so many outstanding games across. Like for RPGs, you had Skies of Arcadia, which is still one of my favorite RPGs, one of my favorite JRPGs. You had Jet Set Radio Future, which was different than Jet Set Radio, but still really good in a different way. I mean,
yeah. I mean, like even the games that were considered bombs, like dude, Blue Stinger is not a bad game.
No, it's just weird, a little goofy.
It was really weird.
Yeah, but weird in the way that a Japanese company was making games for a Sega platform.
Yes.
Blue Stinger is Japanese Sega weird.
What was that? Chibi Chibi Rocket?
Oh, Choo Choo Rocket? Yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
I love Choo Choo Rocket. Also, Choo Choo Rocket is like the best value ever. It has like 400 levels in it. And it was, I don't even think it was $50 on launch. I think there's an iOS version of that too. I gotta look that back up.
Oh, it's Space Channel 5. Doesn't get any weirder than that.
It's true. Space Michael. Man. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like for the majority, I feel like the Dreamcast...
Oh, wait, there you go. Slave Zero, MDK2.
Yeah.
Like, just...
I feel like the Dreamcast got a bad rap because of the Saturn, and I feel like it never caught back up, and so many people didn't give it a chance, and then as soon as the PS2 landed, that was the nail in the coffin.
Well, it was the nail in the coffin, and then the other thing that really hurt it was EA refused to publish on it.
Yep. They didn't publish any sports games on it.
And that was primarily a large sector of the video gaming market was that. But without that, we wouldn't have had 2K games.
Yep. Yeah, especially their 2K football games. They were weird. There was that first-person mode that one year.
Yes. Oh, yeah. That was 2K... I think it was like 2K2 or 2K3.
Yeah.
But they just... Man. Like that gave them... And I believe they produced a better sports game than anything EA or anyone else was making.
Yeah.
Like the baseball game, the hockey game, and the football game. Basketball, they're still doing it, but I just don't care about basketball, though.
Yeah. I'm trying to look up some games here that were famous for it. Ikaruga.
Oh my god, I gotta drink the juice.
Yeah. Crazy Taxi. I don't know how we forgot about that. What else do we have here? Sega AM2. Yeah, we had Space Channel 5, Virtua Tennis, which was actually a really big hit.
Oh, Virtual Tennis was great.
Yeah.
I never thought that would be fun.
Oh, I can't believe...
Sega Bass Fishing.
Oh, man, with that controller? I can't believe I forgot the biggest release. It never clicked with me, but Shenmue.
Oh, yeah.
It was huge for that platform. Virtua Fighter 4. What else was there? I feel like for me, the PS1 and the Dreamcast are really the last bastion of weird experimental, widely published games until the indie game scene came out.
Well, I wouldn't say that. I would say late cycle PlayStation 2 is when that ramped back up.
Yeah, I mean, you still had Katamari. But I feel like we weren't getting enough. I still really wish we would have gotten Sega Gaga over here, where it's the Dreamcast game where you're running Sega as the president of Sega. That game is crazy. I don't know. The Dreamcast was great.
You know why? It's thinking.
It is. I really miss Sega. Sega had, after the death of the Dreamcast, that company still has never been the same, and it's kind of a bummer, especially because there was nothing wrong with the Dreamcast.
No, for all intents and purposes, if the Dreamcast was the Saturn, there's a good chance Sega could still be in the console market.
Yep. It just got beat by the market, and it got beat by the PS2. And
I'm
the PS2
disappointed.
beat the crap out of it.
Yes, I'm disappointed that it never got the chance to go into the HD realm.
Yeah, Sega never got to make crazy stuff in HD for their own platform.
Yes.
Yeah. But that's actually all of our tweets and emails this week. But we're asking the important questions, which is about the Dreamcast. So
Yes.
We'll see you guys next year for Dreamcast's 19th birthday, which I'm super excited about. But if you'd like to visit us, you can do so at tvgp.tv. Email us tvgpfans@gmail.com. Tweet us at...
Wait.
Yeah.
How was it his birthday? It came out 9/9/99.
Oh, it was... I think that was the European... It was from someone over in Germany,
Oh, okay.
I think. So, a little bit
Okay,
later.
sorry.
Either way, I'll talk about Dreamcast. You want to send a question in next week about Dreamcast, then hey, man.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
Talk about that. Everything else on the right-hand side of the page, just write in all week, and I'll save them up.
Yep. All right. Don't forget to join the forums. Please mark yourselves on the map. Join us for our game nights Monday night, 10 p.m. EST on the Xbox One. We'll play some Battlefield 1. If you're there early, we might play something else too. Tuesday is Destiny night. Wednesday, Rocket League. Both PlayStation 4 on the... Oh, it's on the PlayStation 4. Whatever. 10 p.m. EST, I think.
Ish.
Thursday night, Steam game night. And join us, Friday through the weekend. Hey, come on, let's hoard it up.
Yeah. And don't forget, you can watch us live, twitch.tv/E1M1 Network, they're on YouTube, That Video Game Podcast. We're on Beam, we're on Hitbox. If you want us somewhere else, just let us know. I will deliver us to that platform. And I think that's it. So we'll see you all next week.
Laters.
All right, do you have any titles?
So the only thing I wrote down was, and I already forgot how you said it, Pragu?
Oh, Prague?
Yeah, you said Pragu or something weird.
The great city of Prague.
Pragu.
I'm too Irish for that. All right, I have Battlefront Can Suck It. Which is not going to be a title. I just wanted to write that down.
Because
Jeff,
it's
the
hilarious.
Spider King. My Mind Meets, which I feel like we might have done before.
I don't think we've ever used it, but
Okay.
I say it a lot.
Trance Out for a Bit, which is the best description I've heard of Rez. Pin Pack Strike Again, which I like a lot. And Stab It and Bury It.
Really hate that games that much. I'm physically going to destroy
You
it.
hate it enough that you don't want it in your collection and you have Guilty Gear Asuka.
I do.
That's how much you hate it.
Guilty Gear Suga's like right there.
It's
I
so
can
bad.
see. I can see it. It's
I
the
see
white
it.
one.
It's the white
right
one.
there. I can see it.
It's got the scarlet letter on it.
It's right there. I cannot
You know what you've
believe that
done,
worked
Asuka.
out so well. That is right there.
Oh, God. All right, any of these you feel...
Probably our best visual gag yet, right?
Just-
It's right there.
Any of these you feel strongly about?
Oh, jeez. Oh, Pimpack Strike again.
I like that one. Plus, there's a little teaser for anyone looking. It's like, who did it get? Which
Yes.
one? Which one?
I
got
don't
bitten
think they
by
know
Pimpacks?
which one. It's always me.
Yeah, man, I spent so much money on that Tiger Woods that had pin packs.
What was I don't understand. Like,
Why did we do it?
It was so it made
got
me
nothing.
so happy.
It
Like
did.
I don't know what it was, but it's just little and then like
Yeah.
ding, like aw.
I've never spent that much money on cards in real life.
No.
To like open the package myself and look at the cards. But those friggin' pin packs. I just spent so much money. Oh my god. Whew. Alright, let's start in 3, 2, 1. This is That Video Game Podcast, episode 475 for November 28th, 2016. Pin packs strike again.
I need more. Need more. More.
Alright, thank you very much everyone for watching. Appreciate everyone hanging out with us this week. Hopefully everyone is done being all turkeyed up. We'll see you next week. Bye.